Anytime you're taking a new job, it's daunting, and you're replacing a Hall of Famer, even more so. But Tito's been great to me. He's been a great resource, and I couldn't be more thankful.
You were just done playing a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
Is that what helps you with this group of guys? Because they're going to be younger, obviously, and you are. I couldn't believe it. You're 39 years old. You're just a couple years older than me. What separates you from some of the other ones out there?
Yeah, I think that relatability for the younger players. I just got done playing with a lot of them. I know what they're going through. I know what they're thinking. I know what it feels like to break into the big leagues. I was a little older when I did it, but understanding the struggles that you go through when you first get to the major leagues and being able to relate to them. I played against a lot of these guys, played with, Ramon Laureano is my teammate. So just having that ability to connect with them quickly, I think will be very helpful.
I absolutely love one of the headlines from Guards Fest was that you got up there on the stage in front of the fans and you basically said you embraced during the interview process that you were inexperienced. And I always love that because when you're coming out of college, they tell you, all right, when you are getting interviewed, you tell them you're going to be this moldable clay. You'll do whatever. I don't know if it went that far for you in this situation, but what a crazy set of circumstances that you're up there saying, yeah, I'm inexperienced. So what? That should be to me should be part of the selling point.
Yeah, everybody takes this job for the first time at some point, right? I think that's one of the things that we overhype sometimes, like, oh, they have no experience. Well, no one had experience at some point, right? And so getting this leap of faith from Cleveland has really made me feel special, and I'm excited for it. And I don't shy away from the phrase, I don't know. I'm not afraid to ask questions. I'm not afraid to not have the answer. And I think that was a selling point. But at the same time, I'm hungry to learn, and I want to learn as quickly as possible.
If you're getting looks at 39, Stephen Vogt joining us on the show, new Guardians manager. If you're getting looks at 39, there would be no problem with you probably getting looks at it at 40 or 41. What made Cleveland an attractive market for you? What made the Guardians an attractive organization for you? Because, I mean, at that age, you could always say, no, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for maybe a better situation or something like that. What made this the best situation?
The people. Just after 1 hour with Chris Antonetti, Mike Chernoff, and Matt Foreman, I told my wife, Alyssa, I said, that's where I want to work. Just meeting them, just hearing the way they speak about the people in the organization and what they believe in and what their core beliefs are, they align with mine. And also taking over for somebody like Tito, you're not having to come in and make a 180 with an organization. They're in a really good place. So let's pick up where you guys left off and let's see how much we can improve and get better from here. And so that's what really, it wasn't come in and make these huge changes and you have to, like I said, do a 180 at 39 with no experience. It's more of, they're already in a good position. So now let's just come in and let's enhance.
Who are you leaning on? I know everybody was wondering right off the bat, are you talking to Tito? But you've got people in your orbit too. And you also have some people here in town that are obviously going to be able to help you and are familiar with the players that you're now going to be managing.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it, Tito has made himself a resource, and I've talked with him a number of times already, just picking his brain on different things. But really, it's the organization as a whole. We have so many great resources. The front office is great. Our analytical team is great. We have a learning and development team. We've got all of these different resources that I can pick their brains. And at the same time, this coaching staff, Sandy Alomar Jr. and Carl Willis coming back, just being able to rely on them and their experience. And really, I don't need to know everything. They've got a lot figured out. And so I ask a lot of questions. I lean on them. And so I really do feel like I'm very, very supported.
Where are you from?
I'm from Visalia, California.
The Cleveland baseball team was very good when you and I were kids. From Visalia, California, with somebody at the radio station yesterday, they go, where's he from? They said Visalia, California. He goes, oh, onions. I think we're like, the Vidalia, California. Yeah. What? Visalia, California, what's that like? And two, what did you think of Cleveland when you were a kid? And I mean, there's Hall of Famers that were on that team.
Yeah, you can smell Visalia when you get off the freeway. It's a dairy industry.
Really?
Yeah. So, and it's the gateway to the Sequoias. So you can go up and see the giant trees. You can go up into the mountains. But, it's a very rural, small. I mean, it's funny to say small town. There's 150,000 people, but it's a very small town feel. It's very agriculture. A lot of those things. My dad's worked in the citrus business for years, things like that. So that's Visalia. And I remember Kenny Lofton, Carlos Baerga, Jim Thome, the Alomar brothers, like Bartolo Colon, Charles Nagy. I remember those teams very, very well. And I loved the way they played. They beat you down. They were really good. And, I just want to continue that.
Last year was just a bit of a disappointment, I think, for everybody involved. And look, around these parts, we have high expectations, especially with this organization and Tito. But for you, you weren't here last year. Is there anything that you picked up on with this team, with this roster, that you're like, you know what, we think we can do a little better in these parts almost immediately?
Yeah. I mean, I was with Seattle last year, and we played the Guardians 7 out of the first 10 games of the year, and they kicked our butts, and what I remember leaving, I'm like, that's a good baseball team. They do the little things right. They play hard. They throw strikes. They catch the ball. And for me, like coming into this, I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to get our guys to hit the ball harder, like impact the baseball more. And so it's teaching guys, and especially with these younger players, like, hey, when it's a 2-0 count, take a shot. I don't care if you swing and miss at a slider in the dirt 2-0. I want you trying to do damage, and really like helping them understand, trying to impact the baseball. It's okay to swing and miss before 2 strikes. That's okay. We got to take some shots to hit the ball in the gap. And so getting our guys to kind of maybe hit for a little more power. We have a lot of power potential on this roster. And so been talking with Chris Valaika and our hitting group a lot about that. Like, we need to be really preaching this throughout the offseason and in spring training, that we need to impact the baseball more. And so I think that's one of the little adjustments that we're trying to make, and we're really excited about where we're headed.
Stephen Vogt with us on the show. Did you always want to be a manager?
I have for a very long time, yes.
When did you know you had what it took to be a manager?
Probably in 2018. I was with Milwaukee. I got hurt and missed the whole year, but I stayed with the team, was on the bench. Craig Counsell and David Stearns really helped me see behind the veil. And I was like, I know I can do this.
How long were you with Oakland?
I had a 5-year stint, and then I went back for a 6th year in 2022.
Okay. This is, they're a situation unlike anything other. I'm not going to make the comparison. We're blessed to have Cleveland baseball here for the foreseeable future for a long time. But during that time, was there anything you picked up? Because nobody blamed the players. Was there anything you picked up maybe that would help you in fan interaction that you see with any fan base, especially with a market size like Cleveland?
Yeah, I think understanding how much the fans put into coming to games. Getting to know fans in Oakland was really special, because you have some people that they work their job and save up just to afford their season tickets, and they put every passion into going and supporting the team. And so understanding that type of fan has really helped me. And that's why we play. We play to entertain the fans, and really preaching that to our guys and making sure they understand that yes, we're here to play. We're here to do our job. But at the end of the day, we do this because people like to watch it. We wouldn't have a job if people didn't show up and watch. So really pushing that on our guys is what I take out of that.
Do you think now is maybe a younger manager maybe quicker to embrace the quick evolution that's going on right now in baseball, from the pitch clock to now stolen bases being in vogue again, and just the way that the game is shaping up?
Yeah, I think if you look at my playing career from 2012 to 2022, you see how much the game changed while I was going through it. I was introduced to all the analytics at 30 years old. I had to adapt. I had to change. And so being able to make those adjustments on the fly as a player is really going to help me in this position now, because with all the different changes we're making, there's going to continue to be more. We know that. And the game's changing very, very quickly. So being able to handle that, I think I'm well equipped for that.
Who are you most excited in terms of the players on this roster? Who are you most excited to talk to first?
I got to talk to a lot of them, but Bo Naylor really has me excited. You look at this young catcher with all the talent in the world, and being able to watch him through his first full season and help him understand what it takes. He can catch, he can hit, but it's so much more than that, being an everyday catcher. And so to watch his evolution this year, I'm really excited.
What's your theories on bunting?
When necessary.
Really? Because if there's anything that a lot of people complained about, and everybody loved Tito Francona here, but the one thing that people did complain about was excessive bunting. So you say when absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
That's going to win you a lot of fans.
It's a bone of contention.
Yes.
All right. Well, just one final thing for me. I know you got to go. You got a lot of media responsibilities. We talk in this town. We obsess about expectations, whether it's the Browns, the Cavs. We just got into almost a fist fight on the air about what the team is doing coming off, losing in the playoffs last year, now winning 8 in a row. Can you look the fans in the face and tell them what the expectations are for this year?
Yeah. Our expectation is to win the World Series. It always will be. If you don't show up to spring training believing you can win the World Series, you might as well not show up. If we all do our job and we all play well and we do the little things right, we're going to be right in contention. And I think we have the group that can do it. It's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take some guys having some really good years. But if you don't show up to spring training believing you can win the World Series, you might as well not come.
And you've got what you need.
Yeah, we do. Obviously there's always things you can improve. There's always things that you want to get better at. But this young group of players, there's so much potential in there. And we have some really good veterans that I think are going to have some really good years.